There are things we promise and fail to deliver. I promised his mother. I looked into that woman's eyes, held her hands at the base 3 days before deployment and said, "I'll bring him back. A soldier's word." She believed me. He believed me. I believed myself. My name is Thomas Sullivan, 42 years old, 23 years of service, 3 tours in Afghanistan, 2 in Iraq. Decorated, respected, and I failed. This is the story of how I broke the most important promise I ever made in my life. I met Private Marcus Delaney in January 2011. He was 19 years old. Blonde hair cut too short, blue eyes that still shone with that innocence that war hadn't erased yet. I was the sergeant, veteran, the guy who had seen it all. And Marcus? Marcus was the youngest recruit in the platoon. The first time he spoke to me was in the mess hall. He sat down in front of me without asking permission, which was strange because the rookies were always afraid of me. "Sergeant Sullivan," he said, with that Midwest accent, "can I ask you a question?" I was tired. "Depends on the question, soldier." He took a deep breath. Have you ever been afraid of not making it home?" No one had ever asked me that before. Not like that. Not with that raw honesty. I could have given a ready-made answer. Could have said something motivational, something a sergeant should say. But something about that kid, something made me be honest. "Every day, soldier, every damn day." He smiled, a small, relieved smile. "Thank you for being honest, Sergeant." And that's how it started. Marcus was different from the others. He didn't pretend to be tough, didn't hide his fear, but he also didn't let fear paralyze him. He always carried 3 things: a photo of his mother, a folded letter from his girlfriend, and a St. Christopher medal, patron saint of travelers. "My mom gave it to me," he explained once. "She said it would protect me until I came home." I don't believe in those things. 23 years of war taught me that medals don't stop bullets. But I didn't say anything. Let the kid have his faith. Over the weeks, Marcus started following me around, not in an annoying way, but he always showed up, at equipment maintenance, at training, on patrols. "Sergeant, can I ask how you check the equipment?" "Sergeant, what's the best way to stay calm during enemy contact?" "Sergeant," the other soldiers started teasing, "your adopted son, Sullivan." I pretended to be annoyed. But the truth? The truth is, I started to like the kid. Marcus reminded me why I had joined the Army. Before everything became gray, before all missions became just numbers, before I forgot that each soldier was someone's son, someone's brother, someone's boyfriend. Marcus made me remember they were people. 3 days before the mission, we had a short leave at the base. Some soldiers went to town, others slept. I was reviewing maps when Marcus knocked on my quarters door. "Sergeant, can I talk to you?" "Come in, Delaney." He came in. He seemed nervous, more than usual. "Is there a problem?" He stood there uncomfortable. Then finally, "My mom is outside, at the base. She got permission to see me before we leave." I frowned. "And you want me to come with you?" "I wanted, Sergeant, she's going to ask me if I'll be okay, and I don't know what to say. But she trusts you. Everyone trusts you." I should have said no, but I didn't. Margaret Delaney was in her early 50s. Gray hair pulled back in a bun, calloused hands from hard work, eyes that had cried too much in life. She hugged Marcus for 5 whole minutes. Didn't say anything, just held her son as if she could keep him inside her again. When she finally let go, she looked at me. "Are you Sergeant Sullivan?" "Yes, ma'am." She extended her hand. I shook it. Her hand was trembling. "Marcus talks a lot about you. Says you're the best soldier he knows." I looked at Marcus, who was blushing. "He exaggerates." "No, Sergeant," Marcus said quietly. "I don't exaggerate." Margaret took a step closer. Her eyes were wet. "Sergeant Sullivan, I know you can't promise anything. I know this is war. I know things happen, but he's all I have. His father died when he was 7. I raised him alone. I worked 3 jobs to put food on the table, and I can't lose him. I can't." She held my hands. Her hands were cold. "Please, please take care of him. Bring him back to me." I should have said, "I'll do my best, ma'am." I should have been honest about the reality of war. But I looked at that woman, a mother who had already lost her husband, who was about to lose sleep for months, and I couldn't. "I promise," I said. "I'll bring him back. A soldier's word." Marcus looked at me. His eyes were shining. Margaret let out a trembling sigh of relief. "Thank you. Thank you." After she left, Marcus stayed with me outside. "Sergeant, you didn't have to promise that." "I know, but you promised." "I promised." He was quiet for a moment. Then, "I won't disappoint you, Sergeant. I promise." I put my hand on his shoulder. "I know, kid. I know." That was the last calm conversation we had. The mission was simple, on paper. Patrol a village in Helmand district, southeastern Afghanistan. Check for insurgent activity. Establish contact with local leaders. Return to base. 12 men, 2 vehicles. 6 hours of operation. Simple. In war, nothing is simple. We left at dawn. The sun was still low on the horizon, painting the desert orange. Marcus was in the 2nd vehicle, operating the radio. He was focused, professional, but I could see it in his eyes, that trace of nervousness that every new soldier has on their first real mission. "Delaney," I called over the radio. "Everything okay there?" "Yes, Sergeant, all good." "Remember what I taught you?" "Yes, sir. Head down, eyes open, trust the training." "That's it. And Delaney?" "Yes, Sergeant. Today, you go home. All of us go home." There was a pause. Then, "Yes, Sergeant. Thank you." The first 4 hours were quiet. Silent village. Some civilians looking at us with suspicion, but nothing unusual. We talked to some elders. All protocol. I should have noticed. The silence was too much. The streets were too empty. Children who normally run after convoys, there were none. But I was confident. Veteran. Just another mission. Gradually, we began the return. It was 3 kilometers from the base that everything fell apart. The IED exploded under the first vehicle at 2:37 p.m. I remember the time because I looked at my watch when the world turned into fire and twisted metal. The sound was indescribable. It's not like in the movies. It's deeper, visceral. You feel the explosion in your chest. The front vehicle flipped. Screams over the radio, black smoke rising. "Contact! Contact! IED! Men down!" Training takes over. Instinct takes over. "Second vehicle! Defensive position! Establish perimeter!" We jumped out. Marcus was at my side, rifle in hand, eyes wide but focused. And then gunfire from all sides. Rooftops, windows, alleys. It was an ambush. Planned. coordinated. The next 10 minutes were pure chaos, bullets ricocheting, screams, shouted orders, smoke, blood. We managed to get the men out of the first vehicle, 3 seriously wounded, 1 dead. We established position behind the wreckage, returning fire. Marcus was to my right, firing controlled shots. Professional. I was proud of him. "Delaney, cover the right flank." "Yes, Sergeant." He moved, fast, efficient, and then I saw it. 3 insurgents on the roof. RPG aimed at our position. "Grenade! Everyone down!" The explosion threw me to the ground, ears ringing, vision blurred. I got up, confused, blood dripping from my nose, and then I saw Marcus. He was 5 meters away from me, down. I didn't think, just ran. "Delaney!" I reached him, turned him on his back. There was so much blood. Shrapnel had pierced the vest, abdomen, chest. His eyes were open, looking at the sky, blinking slowly. "Marcus, Marcus, look at me." He turned his head, saw me, tried to smile. "Hi, Sergeant. You're going to be fine. I'm getting you out of here. You're going to be fine." I put pressure on the wounds. Too much blood. Too much blood. "Medic! Medic! Man down!" The gunfire continued around us, but in that moment there was only me and Marcus. "Sergeant," he whispered, I can't feel my legs." "Don't think about that. Focus on me. Look at me." It's cold." I know, kid. But you're going to be fine. Remember, you're going home. Remember the promise?" He blinked, tears streaming. I remember." "So you hold on. You hang in there. You still have to go back to your mother, to your girlfriend. You still have a whole life ahead of you." He coughed, blood on his lips. "Sergeant, I'm scared. I know you are, but I'm here with you. You're not alone." The medic arrived, started working, but I saw it in his eyes. I saw it. Marcus held my hand. His hand was cold, weak. "Sergeant, I'm here. Can you tell my mom?" "You'll tell her. You will. Please, what do you want me to say?" He breathed. Each breath was a struggle. "Tell her I loved her. Tell her I tried. Tell her I wasn't afraid at the end. Marcus, and tell her you took care of me, like you promised." I couldn't speak. My throat was closed. Promise you'll tell her." "I promise." He smiled, a small, tired smile. "Thank you, Sergeant, for everything." His eyes began to close. Marcus, stay with me. Marcus." He died at 2:52 p.m., 15 minutes after the ambush started, 19 years old, in my arms. I held him until the gunfire stopped, until the evacuation helicopter arrived, until there was no more reason to hold on, and even then I couldn't let go. We returned to base 3 days later, 5 men short. I wrote 5 letters. Marcus's was the last. I sat in front of the computer for 4 hours. Hands shaking, blank screen. How do you tell a mother that you failed, that you promised and didn't deliver? How do you put someone's last moment into words? Finally, I wrote, "Dear Mrs. Delaney, it is with deep regret that I write this letter. Your son, Private Marcus Delaney, was killed in action on March 15, 2011, during an ambush in Helmand, Afghanistan. I was with him. I held his hand. He was not alone. Marcus was an exceptional soldier, brave, dedicated, kind. He made the men around him better. He made me better. In his final moments, he asked me to tell you some things, that he loved you deeply, that he tried his best, and that, in the end, he wasn't afraid. He also asked me to tell you that I took care of him, as I promised. Mrs. Delaney, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I couldn't bring him back. I made that promise to you, and I failed. This will haunt me for the rest of my life. But I want you to know, your son died doing what he believed in, protecting his brothers in arms, serving his country, and he died knowing he was loved. This doesn't ease your pain. I know. Nothing will, but I hope that someday it may bring some comfort. With my deepest condolences, Sergeant Thomas Sullivan, I sent the letter. 2 weeks later, I received a response. It was 3 handwritten words. I forgive you, but I don't forgive myself. Today is March 15th, 2024. 13 years since Marcus died. I left the Army in 2015. I couldn't anymore. Every mission was Marcus. Every young soldier was Marcus. I live in a small town now, work in a mechanic shop. Simple life. But every day at 2:52 p.m., I stop. I close my eyes, and I see his face. There's a photo in my wallet. Marcus and me taken a week before the mission. He's smiling. I'm almost smiling. I look at that photo every day. And every day I tell him, sorry, kid. Sorry I didn't bring you home. Promises are sacred. I broke mine. And that's a debt I'll never be able to repay.